Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Old Try Hard Gaming with me, Roll KCV. You know, they say of me, he does the best he can with what he's got, which is not a lot of talent, but it is a whole lot of special Saturday, premiere Saturday stream. You guys watch it on YouTube. You don't care what day this came out. This is not the first Saturday or Sunday stream. But it'll be close coming up, right? I don't know what day. I can't remember what day this is. I think it's January 9th. So it may not yet be the first Saturday stream, but or first Saturday SnowRunner episode. But from this point forward, SnowRunner is going to be running on Saturdays and Sundays, as well as what it had been, Monday through Friday. And I got Mod Monkey in chat. You needed to take a long break. Okay. We'll if you want to chat more about that, we can do that in a second. But yes, for those of you watching on Twitch, this is the premiere Saturday stream. SnowRunner, I'll be doing 3 hours on Saturday, 6 in addition to the 6 hours on Sunday. For those of you watching on YouTube, SnowRunner is now going to run 7 days a week rather than 6 days a week. And so there are some Saturdays when SnowRunner won't run. First Saturday of the month, it won't run. But other than that, every other Saturday, SnowRunner will be streaming on twitch.tv/RollCageUnderBarTV. All right, let's load the game up. And yes, Flooded Foothills and Yukon, game 2. You'll try to tell the story in a PG way. Okay. Well, if it's too personal of a story, keep in mind, this is going out on YouTube. So it's not going to expire in 60 days like my Twitch content. It's going to be there forever. So if it's too personal of a story, don't tell the story. This chat will stay out there forever. It'll become part of your permanent records. I warn everybody. Okay, I'm glad you don't care. And I'm sorry to hear that you had something that forced you to take a long break. And if it's not in the PC way, I'm ready to time you out. I got to get ready. I'm loading up the timeout command right now. I trust that you could tell. Where were we in the game? We were we were in Yukon. It's been 7 days since I played. I did play last Sunday. We had just started the new map. That's what we did. We just started the second map. So I'm excited about that. This is part of a YouTube stream or a Twitch stream. Watch on YouTube. This is a 3-part stream, and then so for these next 3 episodes, it'll be in one stream, and then the next 6 episodes that will be in another stream. Let's see. Sorry, Mod Monkey, that's not appropriate. I don't really care how you what kind of emojis you put in it. That's not appropriate. So yeah. I've only got you timed out for 2 minutes. But yeah. Don't do that again or you'll get a ban. I mean, stuff happens. But I don't think that's inappropriate. I don't think that's appropriate. Sorry. Not even using emojis is going to save you from that. All right. Well, that's a heck of a way to start a YouTube episode. I am sorry to hear about it, but yeah, no MLVC SnowRunner on a Saturday. Yeah, you know it. Mod Monkey is a good guy, but sometimes people you know, get emotionally charged. Yes, you missed the announcement, MLVC. From this point forward, SnowRunner is going to be on YouTube 7 days a week, rather than 5 days a week, and it's going to be streamed for 3 hours every Saturday, other than the first Saturday of the month. So most Saturdays is going to be streamed 3 hours after my racing, and then Sunday still for Sunday still for 6 hours. Yeah. So 2 days of the week streaming for SnowRunner, and 7 days of the week videos for SnowRunner. That's the big announcement. I had hinted at that before, but now it's official. Ah, yes, this vehicle, the Jeep had to get over there. Why is the Jeep getting over there this way? Why is the Jeep going this way? I can go to the other map. I'm going to go to the global map. I thought I had found the garage. I have the Rezvani here. And the Rezvani is at the garage. Oh, I know why. Because I didn't find a trailer store. And I need to pull the trailer over there. Ah, that's why. If you're watching on YouTube, you probably heard this yesterday. But you'll be here whenever you can, but getting late for you on a Saturday. Yeah, I do it on Saturday after my racing. So it's going to stream on Saturday starting around 4. And so yeah, that's cool. But it'll still be on Sundays at the regular time, 12:30 to 7 or so. All right, so I'm right. I do want to come here because I do want to bring the trailer, because I haven't found the trailer store yet. Now, there is a trailer store here. Right. So I don't have to take the trailer with me until I get on the good roads. So let's do that. I did not write this stuff down. But we're in scouting mode. So I've got to get the pew 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 and try to go around the whole map with this baby. And this can be a tricky vehicle to control. If you have a hard time controlling some of these faster scouts, I'll show you a trick. Go into the settings, and if you're using a controller, still put this on steering wheel. Because then you don't have to recenter the wheel. You can just let go of the stick and you'll be centered. And it says that at the bottom of the flavor text there, right at the last couple of lines there. They added that in as an option because people playing with controllers found, hey, why do I have to counter steer back with the controller wheel when my controller centers itself? How come I need to keep going back and forth so much? So, yeah, that's a trick. Not a lot of people know that because it didn't come out with it. And this is not a great mudder. It's a great rocker. It can climb rocks and hills and stuff really well. Not the best mudder. I do have mud tires on it, but it's got a rock crawler suspension. A great rocker. It's also a great roller. It's a great rocker and roller. Rock and roller, as they say. I don't know what kind of music my driver Took likes. But the music that's in the game is all is all good, solid country. It's not like country. I don't really like country fusion, but you know, traditional country I kind of like. I grew up on rock and roll though. I grew up on progressive rock. Now people say prog rock is an insult. Well, you can just get lost, buddy. That and 70s funkadelic music, I like that a lot too. You know, predated hip hop. Some like not so much soft rock, folk fusion, but some I liked. Solid folk music I like, you know, real folk music I like. So my groups were Pink Floyd, #1 group, Led Zeppelin, Yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, some of the Moody Blues before they got all Moody Bluesy. Their comeback albums were not so great, but their first 7 albums were good. Who else? Who else I really like? Leonard Skinner. I don't know if you would call that country fusion. It was kind of more rock than anything else, but I don't know what you would call it. They're generally considered classic rock these days, but yeah, progressive rock like Pink Floyd. That was my favorite. Album-oriented rock. Queen with, you know, their rock operas. The Who with their Tommy album. And then, of course, there was the music soundtrack for Tommy, which had all kinds of artists, including what's his name? I can't think of. The guy with the fancy glasses. I don't know. Elton John. Elton John was in that. Yeah, I liked a lot of music. I like jazz a lot. Never really knew enough about jazz. I like some classic music. I like to relax and listen to classic music, but I know nothing about classic music. I couldn't tell you between Chopin and Beethoven and Tchaikovsky, and you know, I don't know any of those guys. Bach, Beethoven, Chopin, they're all from different eras, and I don't know the difference. Which is kind of a shame, but again, as a teenager, it's not the music I got. I didn't grow up in like an intellectual household. I grew up in a working class household. I had a professional career as a software developer or manager, product manager, technical product manager, that kind of thing. But, you know, educated professional, but I come from a working class background. My dad was a hand upholsterer when there were such things. He worked at a big factory that did upholstery. Yes, they had such things. Before they had machine upholstery, there was a whole assembly line of upholsterers. And as you might guess, after a while, they didn't need upholsterers anymore. So He did a bunch of other stuff. Now we have, you know, programmers who are figure that, you know, their companies figure that the programmers can be replaced by so-called AI programming, which is not AI. It's machine learned large language models, not AI. It's a quick acronym to say artificial intelligence, but it's inaccurate. And programs are very iffy, created by you need the right prompts to get a decent piece of software out of the algorithm, and you can't really trust it anyway. You got to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. So yeah, someday maybe the software it produces will be better, but then it'll still be the art of writing the proper prompts. And you'll still have to check it, because people don't realize with large language models, people are afraid of the wrong things with so-called artificial intelligence. I was talking to my roommate about this. Large language models, now I'm told I should go over the train tracks here. Yeah, but it's kind of too late. I'll try the train tracks. I think this vehicle might be able to handle the train tracks better than the water. My other vehicles, the big Mastodon, handles the water incredibly well, so it doesn't really matter. This thing is a great rock climber, so I'm not afraid to go over these rocks. Oh, and then of course, but it's not as great a rock climber when I get a rock right on my right in the center. Go. It should be. Whoa, 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 whoa. This. Yeah, I am already regretting this. Okay. Whoever you were on YouTube, actually, I know who you are, but I'm not going to say your name. Even with this vehicle, I was definitely better off in the water. Look at this, this is ridiculous. This is horrific. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky, he said. It's tricky, but it's better. Yeah, not for this vehicle. Even though this is not the mudder, this vehicle is the wrong way of going for this. Some of the other vehicles might be better than this on the train tracks. I'm sure they would be, but still, all the other vehicles I have can handle the mud better than they can handle the train tracks. And so that apparently includes this vehicle as well. I am, by the way, trying to go straight. I've got the steering wheel locked to the right, and yet I can't get over the train tracks. So I'm I'm stuck on the train tracks here. And I tried to do it a different way with two wheels on the track, with either the left wheels or the right wheels on the tracks. But because of this grade, I'll just fall off. I'll roll off right or left. So this is the way you take the train tracks with this vehicle. And you know what? I think the mud is better. It's less dangerous anyway. And this vehicle can get through it. If it needs to winch, it'll winch, but it can get through it. Whoops, I went to scratch my nose. There! I hope you're watching. I will make sure I add that the person that told me that is a dedicated YouTube fan, and I very much appreciate his comments. And I am just teasing. Okay, now I can't get over that thing, can I? Pretty sure I can't. So I have to Where do I need to go? I actually need to go there. I actually want to go over there to the trailer store. Can I get over? No, I can't get over here. I need to get near a tree stump so I can cross. Okay, now I should be able to cross. All right. Yes, I do appreciate all the suggestions, and I am just teasing. Horn! And I need to delete some of those waypoints. Yeah, with certain vehicles, the train tracks are easier than going through the mud. But not necessarily with any of the vehicles I have. Okay, stop the engine. First things first, I'm going to fix these waypoints. You can delete individual waypoints, though it sometimes can be tricky. You got to get the angle just right. You use the same button you use to add a waypoint. In my case, it's the right trigger. And if you highlight the point right, instead of adding it, it will delete it. But sometimes it doesn't happen right, and you have to, like, turn it to get the angle just right. So it can be done. It's just a bit tricky. Okay, I should be close enough to that waypoint that it'll go away once I move. There, okay. Now let's buy the trailer, because this is the whole point. Wrong thing. Stop the engine. This vehicle does not have as much range as doesn't quite have as much range as the Hercules. The Rezvani is just absolutely amazing. Actually, what I could do first of all is, because I did spend a little bit of fuel, what would be make more sense is to sell this. Is that the Scout service trailer? I don't need repairs, but I could use the refueling. Roof rack is full. Okay. I am playing on normal mode. It's not any. There is no easy mode. It's not a mod. Just a normal mode game. Now we can buy that. I've got full of fuel. I've got the markers back on my map, and it's all pretty easy going from here to like get to that path. And then when the big trucks come through, I will when the big truck comes through, I will what am I trying to say? When the big trucks come through, I'm going to drag that service trailer through, because it's not doing anything for me here. This thing can get to amazing places on its own. It might need help sometimes. In order to give it help, what I have to do is, because the trailer is so heavy, sometimes I have to bring one of the ZiKZ Mastodons with me to give it help. And there's two ways of doing it. I can either just pull it behind the Mastodon, or I can take the Mastodon with a ramp flatbed trailer and help it that way. That way is more complicated, and also maneuvering with the ramp flatbed can be a real pain. The advantage is I can just pull it up onto the ramp flatbed or drive it up onto the ramp flatbed. No, not there. I can drag it up on the ramp flatbed, and I want a tree over there. I got a tree over there. Yes, I can't restart. Okay. I can drag it up on the ramp flatbed and then unpack it. To pack it, you have to unhitch the little Scout trailer. So I can unhitch the Scout trailer, then pack it in the trailer from the... I'm not saying all this, right? Because I'm trying to concentrate on two things at once. I'll get back to you on that. Let me get through this mud. The way to take this little trailer with the ramp flatbed is to drive it up on the ramp flatbed with the focus on the Scout trailer here, the Wrangler. Costa Clan, how you doing? Hold on a second. I'll read your chat in a second here. Wish you could pull Scout trailers with the F750. You know what? I wouldn't care if you could pull Scout trailers with the F750 because I'm not allowed to use the F750 because I only use vehicles that are independent vehicles that you don't find on the map. So all DLC vehicles is what I'm using. That's part of the quote-unquote easy mode. I don't know what I'm attached to. I could possibly get my way through here, but yes, this trailer makes life a lot harder. I know a lot of people say, oh, the F750 is a much better Scout vehicle than like the Rezvani Hercules. Well, whether it is or isn't doesn't matter. I'm not using the F750. I'm only using the vehicles I can that come with that come with DLC. Why does Twitch keep telling me that? Yes, pre-roll ads are on. I know. I don't run 3-minute ads. I only run ads during my breaks. Twitch really wants me to let them schedule ads, and I refuse to let them schedule ads for me because they'll interrupt the ad. They'll interrupt the action. I'm not going to let Twitch interrupt the action. Forget it. I hate that. I think most people on Twitch would hate that too. Some streamers just like, oh well, I'll just let Twitch handle the ads for me. It's much easier, and then I'll get more ad money. But they don't realize that the people that watch the stream get terribly frustrated when they ask a question to the streamer and they never hear the answer because they've got an ad running. So you will never see mid-roll ads on my stream unless I run them. That might mean you occasionally see a pre-roll ad, but I think that's a small price to pay for not being interrupted while you're watching the stream. So that's my philosophy. That's my philosophy because that's my experience with myself and also my experience with every other person that's watched every other stream that I know. I have stopped watching streamers who let Twitch interrupt their streams for ads that have an ad schedule. It's a big pet peeve of mine, and I have stopped watching streamers because of it. Because to me, it's like, oh, I'm in a stream. I'm chatting. I'm watching the streamer. I'm chatting. I ask the streamer a question in chat, and I never hear their answer because suddenly an ad's going. You can't really be involved with what's going on and suddenly have an ad interrupt things. Anyway, and I also don't watch. I know one thing that Twitch has implemented on if you're watching on a web server, you can now rewind like you could always do on YouTube. But then you have to rewind back to before the ad, and then you have to fast forward to get caught up, and then you can comment. And guess what? That doesn't work on any of the apps. It doesn't work on mobile. It doesn't work on console. Anyway, This is what I do. I'm an old man. I go on rants. Instead of try-hard gaming, old try-hard gaming, I should call this old rants gaming. The F750 is not the type of DLC that I am referring to. I am referring to the paid DLCs that are external to any region. Those are the only vehicles I was used. What someone referred to as the pay-to-win DLCs, which I think is, for this game, inappropriate because they're paid. You know, they're not pay to win because nobody's winning or losing in this game, right? You're not competing with anybody else. They are the quick start vehicles. They are the external to any region DLC vehicles. So, yes. What I wish they would do is come out with a stronger scout trailer that has independently, not in any of the regions because I couldn't use it, not in any of the season packs, but come out with a scout vehicle that has the same stability that this has, and yet is a little heavier and has a stronger engine. If the Rezvani Hercules could carry a scout trailer, then I'd be all set. Because the Hercules is powerful, it's got a very long range, it's incredibly stable, you won't roll over with it. I mean, you won't. I have, but that doesn't mean you will. Whoa! So yeah, once you get... You definitely have highlighted the problem that I faced with this vehicle, though. By itself, oh man, it can do it all. But once it's carrying this trailer is so freaking heavy that this baby struggles with it for sure. And I had forgotten there was so much mud on this trail. I thought it was a pretty good trail, but no, there's a lot of mud on it. I'm looking at the time, I'm thinking, am I even going to get to the next map before I have to end this episode? But you see, it's very stable. I can get the angle on this thing pretty far to the side without it tipping over. I need another scout. I need them to release another scout vehicle that has as wide a pack wheelbase and yet is bigger and has a stronger engine that also can carry extra fuel. But the Rezvani Hercules has a great range. It's very stable. It can get through mud very well on its own if it's got mud tires, but it can't carry a trailer. So, yeah, there's compromises everywhere. I need them to come out with the same kind of overpowered vehicle like the ZiKZ Mastodon, but for scout vehicles. That's what I need. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Let's get through this area. And while it's loading and while we got the nice cinematic, I'm going to hydrate myself here. And once again, I didn't drink all the cola out of my glass before I poured my other soda in. So it's a little bit of a mix. I am currently drinking Squirt. Hold on a second. No, I got to blow my nose. I always watch those cinematics and listen to the music because I think it's awesome. My music is still playing, right? Why does it feel like my music isn't playing? Is it playing very quietly in the background? I'm going to switch scenes quickly. You hardly notice the difference. Always technical things. Has it always been like that? You don't hear any music. Yeah, why didn't my music play? There it goes. Now it's playing. That was weird. I switched the scenes very quickly. I don't think I had hit that button. I don't think I had hit. Sometimes it looks like the button took, but it didn't take. All right. Where am I? Yes, crinklesmusic.com. Go there. You could be famous. Listen to their soundtrack from the box, volume 1 through, well, volume 21, 23, and 24. Pick at least 3 songs each from those 3 volumes. And if I use your suggestions, I will make you famous for a month. I'll make you VIP for a month if you whisper me on Twitch. If you how do you get in there? No, it's on this road. Okay. I'll make you a VIP for a month if you whisper me on Twitch. If you let's get the best. Let's come over here and do a scan. So yes, please give me suggestions. I want to expand my music, and I've only gotten a couple suggestions from a couple people. I would definitely like to get more people. Yeah, I didn't notice that the music hadn't been going. I would have reset the scene earlier. I think it was showing me on the scene with music, but it actually was on the scene without the music. I can use this scene without music to clear the chat. Yes, I am looking for royalty-free music from crinklesmusic.com. I have license for Crinkles Music. So, I'm not looking for any royalty-free music. I'm only looking for more crinklesmusic.com music. I appreciate the offer if you've got another source of royalty-free music. But, yeah, I have license for Crinkles. Moose with a scarf is good. Okay. I appreciate all the suggestions, but appreciating the suggestions doesn't necessarily mean I will take the suggestions. I hope people understand that. Not everyone necessarily understands that. So please don't get offended if I don't. Is that my Rezvani or is that a new vehicle? That's a new vehicle, isn't it? No, that's Rezvani. I'm looking for a good place to run this thing. Yeah, aha! And there's a trailer store here. I could have avoided all that, but the Rezvani didn't get close enough to find it. Sad. Look how close he was to finding this. I'll run it here. And actually stop the engine, because this thing has its own engine. You get it, but he made his stuff for streamers to use. Yeah, that's cool. Like I said, it's a good suggestion. It's just not a suggestion that I'm going to take. I can think it's a good suggestion and still not follow through on it. So I'm glad you suggested it, and I think it is a good suggestion. It's just not a suggestion that I'm going to take for other reasons. I think as you get older, you start to realize, and by older, I mean like, you know, I'm an old senior citizen. You kind of start to understand that there's a difference between appreciating someone's advice and taking their advice. Recognizing that something is good, it is a good idea, it is good advice, but maybe it's not, you know, for whatever reasons, is not something that you're going to do. And when you're a young person, you need to try to understand that here's old man advice to everyone now, which of course may be good advice, and you choose not to take it, and that's fine. You're your own person. But I think as a young person, sometimes you feel like you're unheard if the advice you give isn't acted upon, and that's not always true. You might be heard, and you might be understood, and you might have clearly communicated, and the person appreciates what you're having to say, yet they make a decision for whatever other factors not to follow through on your advice. So, yeah, you're old enough to understand that. I know how old you are. So, no offense, but yeah, Crinkle's music is where I get my music from. I have a license with them. Okay, what did I see on the map? Did I see the edge of anything yet? No. So I'm going to have to come down here to get to the edge of that map. And that might be covered by this watchtower. So I think that's probably going to be my next... That watchtower is going to be my next goal. But I'm not going to do it in this vehicle. I'm going to do it in this vehicle. Come on, highlight. All right, now let's see the best way of getting there. And it's not going to be by going here. Delete this waypoint. But I'm going to come out there. Okay, how do I get to that? Whoa, I'm not sure how to get to that watchtower, come to think of it. Okay, this is how I get there. Oh, this is going to be fun. We're going to have a blast. Now, I don't want to drive in the gray, and I don't want to drive in the black unless I'm pretty sure that the black is going to be covered by one of the watchtowers. And I'm guessing the black will be covered by the watchtower. I don't drive in the gray because it's easy to miss something, even though it shows you full color on the edges. You know, you're driving down the road and it reveals stuff around the road, but that doesn't necessarily mean you'll see every vehicle that's there, and it won't get marked on the map. So that's why you use the scout trailer, so that you're sure it's, or the the portable exploration unit, the radar truck, because then you're sure it is going to be, you know, all the upgrades and stuff will be marked on the map. Because you might pass an upgrade and you'll get a little sign maybe off to the side, but if you don't have the vehicle pointed the right way, the camera pointed the right way, you won't see it. So to fully scout, you do need the scout unit. Which before they brought that into the game, you know, you just had to take your chances that you saw all the upgrades, or you had to go to, you know, an external site like maprunner.info, but I prefer not to do that. Okay, that is how I'm going to get there. What's the time? I don't think I have time to get all that way. I'll get a little ways. Still don't understand why they don't have a hitch on the Hercules. Yeah, I know. If it came with a trailer hitch, I'd be able to, you know, maybe I would still keep the Wrangler because it's such a good rock climber, but I would probably find another vehicle instead. The main reason I have the Wrangler is just so that it can, because it can carry a Trish. But yeah, if they came out with another Rezvani, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe this one will have a trailer hitch. Maybe it'll be something I could replace this with. I don't know. And then I looked at it. It's like a miniature version of this one. It's 3/4 the size, was half the power. It's like, what? Why would I ever pick that one over this one? It's not like that one was a cheaper DLC than this one. Anyway. Well, okay. I am on the road. I am probably in a good place to stop and pull over, which I am going to do because, did I not have my lights on? Oh. Why are my lights not seem to be working? I don't need the engine on to turn the lights on, right? My lights don't seem to be working. Oh, there they're on now. Okay. I can turn them on, but I can't turn them off. Do they come on and off automatically on this vehicle? No other vehicle does that. Anyway, now I've wasted a lot of time. I was running a little bit late this weekend, had some technical issues with MotoGP and all that stuff, so I am going to take a break now. Use the Hummer to pull the Scout. Yeah, again, the Hummer is not a paid DLC vehicle. They need to come out. They need to come out with a better Scout vehicle that you pay extra for. That's. Hopefully they'll do that by the time I get to Region 23. All right, folks. I am going to take a break here. If you're watching on YouTube, that will be it for this YouTube episode. If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Take a short break. For those of you on YouTube, the next episode will be the next day, not just weekday, the next day, tomorrow at noon, U.S. Central Time, 7 days a week, which is 6 p.m. in the UK, 0600 hours the next day in New Zealand. Almost never, though it should be, but it's plus or minus an hour, depending on the time of year, thanks to daylight savings time. Thanks to all of you. Twitch, again, stick around. I'm just going to take a short break. I'll be right back. YouTube, next episode. Either way, I will see you then.